Alright, what's up everyone, I'm Filoki, and today we're going to be taking a look at a preview for the Week 7 matchup between the 5-0 Seattle Seahawks and the 4-2 Arizona Cardinals. For anyone who hasn't heard the news yet, this game was moved to Sunday night because the Raiders are having some issues with the coronavirus, so this is now a Sunday night game, and it will be the third primetime game for the Seahawks in just 6 games. This game will be the first divisional game for the Seahawks, and it'll definitely be the biggest challenge that they've had so far. The Cardinals are no doubt a very good team, 4-2. They have a very dynamic offense with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray. They've got Kenyon Drake, who's a great running back, and their defense is very good as well. So this will definitely be a challenge for the Seahawks, and it'll definitely be a very good game for both teams to prove themselves. But going into this game, there are a couple important things when it relates to injury. Jamal Adams is now out for his 3rd game in a row, coming off the bye week as well. He is ruled out for this game. Jordan Brooks and Quinton Dunbar both have no injury designations, so it looks like they will be playing this game. And when it comes to the Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins is questionable for this game, but knowing DeAndre Hopkins, he'll probably play. He's one of those guys that plays every single time that he's questionable. But now to take a little bit of a look at the Arizona Cardinals, last week in their Monday night matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, they ended up beating them 38-10 in a dominant victory. In that matchup, Kyler Murray completed 9 of his 24 passes for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran the ball 10 times for 74 yards and a touchdown, so this is definitely something that the Seahawks are going to have to watch out for. Kyler Murray is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. He can pass real well, and of course he can run. There's no question about that. So the Seahawks are definitely going to have to worry about Kyler Murray running, because even against the Dolphins, against Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's not really a runner, we let up a lot of easy first downs to Ryan Fitzpatrick scrambling out of the backfield. So Kyler Murray can definitely cause us some problems, and that's something that the Seahawks are really going to have to watch out for, especially with so many other weapons on the Cardinals offense. When it came to the Cardinals run game, aside from Kyler Murray, Kenyon Drake had 20 carries for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. This did include a long 69-yard touchdown at the end of the game, but also Chase Edmonds had 5 carries for 23 yards, so definitely some very good production for the Cardinals run game. And of course, the Seahawks have a top 5 run defense in the league. This is definitely skewed by the Seahawks only playing 5 games because of their early bye. However, last game in week 5 against the Minnesota Vikings, the Seahawks run defense did not look good whatsoever, especially against a backup running back in Alexander Mattison. And honestly, it just was not a good game. We let a backup running back get over 100 yards, so we definitely have to watch out for the Cardinals this week, who had over 250 yards last week. And like I said, this Cardinals offense has a lot of great players, and when you look at the receivers, this definitely holds true. The Cardinals made a huge move in the offseason to get DeAndre Hopkins, who is playing like one of the best wide receivers in the league right now. They still have Larry Fitzgerald, who is old, but he's definitely a reliable pass catcher. And they also have Christian Kirk, who is definitely a very good big playmaker if you don't focus on him, because DeAndre Hopkins is taking a lot of the focus this year from defenses, and Christian Kirk is just making big plays when the defense just forget about him and focus on DeAndre Hopkins too much. And when it comes to the defense, this is a top 5 overall defense. They have some very good players like Patrick Peterson, they have Isaiah Simmons, they have Byron Murphy, they have some very good players, but the main guy that I think the Seahawks need to watch out for is Budda Baker. Budda Baker is someone who seems like he's everywhere on the field when it comes to the defense. He's making every single play. Last week, he had an interception, a forced fumble, a sack, a tackle for loss. He had a couple pass deflections. He was playing out of his mind. He played really well last week, and that's basically how he plays every week. So of course, with such a great safety like Budda Baker, along with other great players on that defense, we're going to really have to get our offense going. We can't be like the Seahawks against the Vikings, because I don't think the Cardinals are going to allow us to get 21 points in 2 minutes. And when it comes to the Seahawks, we're coming off of a bye week after a pretty bad week 5 matchup against the Vikings. We did win that game, but it really seemed like there was only like 5 or 6 minutes of actual good play from our team as a whole. Of course, we had that 2-minute stretch early on in the second half where we got 3 touchdowns and forced 2 turnovers. However, really, other than that, we had that good last-minute drive by Russell Wilson, but that really was it. That was the only good defense we played. We had one really good play getting that 4th and 1 stop, but overall, it was just a really bad game. We got killed in time of possession. We got killed in basically every metric that made sense, and the Vikings should have won that game. The Seahawks just found a way to come out with it. We got a great 21-point swing, and of course, Russell Wilson is one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league. When it comes to an overview of the Seahawks-Cardinals matchup, the Cardinals are the 3rd best rushing offense. They're pretty middle of the pack when it comes to the passing offense, but still a very good offense nonetheless. The Seahawks, on the other hand, are one of the best passing offenses in the league with 19 passing touchdowns, which still leads the league even though they had a bye week last week. And their run offense is right around middle of the pack, so basically just complete polar opposites between the Cardinals and the Seahawks, where the Cardinals are a very good run team and they are pretty average in the pass, where the Seahawks are an amazing pass team and they're pretty average in the run right now. And that's not saying that either team is bad in any area, because even though the Cardinals have a pretty middle of the pack passing game when compared to other teams in the league, they still have amazing players. They have a great quarterback in Kyler Murray. They have DeAndre Hopkins, who's one of the best wide receivers. They have Christian Kirk, who can definitely kill you if you don't focus on him. And you have Larry Fitzgerald, who is amazing. He is just an old vet that is super reliable. And even though the Seahawks are around middle of the pack when it comes to the rushing offense compared to other teams, they're still not bad in that aspect at all. They have a great running back in Chris Carson. They have really good backup running backs in DJ Dallas, Carlos Hyde, Travis Homer, and they're probably going to get Rashaad Penny back relatively soon. So overall, when you look at both of these teams, neither one of these teams really has any weaknesses when it comes to the offense. Maybe you could say the offensive line for both teams are pretty mediocre, but that's really it. When it comes to their skill position players, they are absolutely amazing, both teams. And because of this, I think this is going to be a very interesting Sunday night game to watch, but I think this game is really going to come down to which defense decides to make more plays. Like I said, the Cardinals are a top 5 total defense in the league. They're playing really well. They have amazing players on the defense, and the Seahawks, they are the top 5 run defensive team. However, when it comes to their pass defense, they are one of the worst. So this is not looking like a great game when it comes to the defensive matchups between the Seahawks and the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are doing amazing, and the Seahawks, who are top 5 in run defense, which is still skewed because they've only played 5 games to most teams 6 games, their passing defense is absolutely horrendous. Overall, this is definitely going to be a very interesting, very fun Sunday night game to watch between two very talented divisional opponents. The Seahawks and the Cardinals are both great teams, and these next 5 weeks for the Seahawks are definitely going to be a challenge because, of course, they're playing the Cardinals this week, who are a great team, and then over the next 4 weeks, they have 3 divisional games, and they play the Buffalo Bills, which are a great team. So this is going to be a very rough next 5 weeks, and it's really going to be how the Seahawks are going to prove themselves as one of the best teams. Can they remain undefeated? Maybe. Can they do like maybe 4-1, 3-2 in that stretch? Really, the Seahawks need to go positive, if not undefeated, in this next 5-game stretch to really prove themselves as one of the best teams in the league. And when you have such an amazing quarterback like Russell Wilson, I think the Seahawks can win just about every game. Russell Wilson can put the team on his back when the defense isn't playing well. He can outscore every quarterback in the league, in my opinion. I think that is definitely a possibility that Russell Wilson, he can carry this team if he needs to. And especially with some relatively weak performances for Russell Wilson standards in the last 2 weeks, I think Russell Wilson's going to come into this game and just completely dominate. Dak Prescott, who was one of the quarterbacks that was definitely in the MVP talks because he had really good stats, albeit his team was playing from behind and really didn't have much team success. He was in the MVP talks, but he did have a season-ending injury. Josh Allen did not play well last week. Aaron Rodgers didn't play well last week. So really, Russell Wilson, if he can continue to play well this week, if he can get 3-4 touchdowns, maybe not get an interception unlike the last 2 games, I think this is the week where Russell Wilson really just creates the separation between every other MVP runner right now. Overall, like I said, this is definitely going to be a very good Sunday night game to watch, and also, like I said, I think Russell Wilson is going to go off in this game. In the last 2 games, Russell Wilson hasn't been playing amazingly. Of course, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception against the Vikings is not bad by any means. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception against the Dolphins isn't great, but the Dolphins and the Vikings had great game plans to try to stop Russell Wilson, and that was keeping him off the field. They killed us in time of possession, and that really worked for them to stop Russell Wilson from completely cooking them. But if the Cardinals are unable to do this, I think Russell Wilson comes back this week. He's going to come in and create the separation between him and every other guy that's in the MVP conversation right now. I think he can have 4 touchdowns, maybe 5 touchdowns. And honestly, I think this is the game where he goes off and he proves himself as the MVP this year. Now, of course, anything can happen. These are 2 amazing teams going at it. This is an amazing defense for the Cardinals, an amazing offense for the Seahawks. So really, this is going to be a game that can go either way. But right now, I think this is definitely going to be a very close game, but definitely high scoring. I think Russell Wilson goes off, but I think that the Cardinals will be able to keep up with such a good run game. Kyler Murray being such a great quarterback with amazing options like Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald. I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Maybe something like the Cowboys game this year or the Patriots game this year. I definitely think that both teams are going to be playing really well, and I think that both teams will have a chance to win. I think maybe like a 35-31 victory for either team. I think the Seahawks can easily win 35-31, and the Cardinals can easily win 35-31. I think both teams can put up the numbers that they need to put up to win a game like that. But really, I think this could go either way, and Russell Wilson being a great quarterback, I'm going to say personally, with my bias, Russell Wilson takes this victory over Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals 35-31, but by no means would I be surprised if the Cardinals ended up winning this game with a similar score. But with that, that's going to be it for this video. I gave my piece, so let me know down below what you think is going to happen in this game. Let me know down below what your predictions are, and with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Have a great day.